Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're taking a look at a brand new Dark Magician card. This is the newest V Jump promo to be announced here. We kind of been waiting for this to get fully revealed, and now we finally have its effects. This card is called Dark Magic Amulet. Here's your artwork on it. Pretty simple. Giving me metal, not metal morph. What's the is metal morph the card I'm thinking of? No, it's what was that old equip spell where like if your life points are lower than your opponent, like double your monster's attack, and if not, it'd cut it in half. I can't remember what it's called, but remind me what that card is in the comments. Anyway, here we go. This is Dark Magic Amulet, a normal trap card. You can activate this card the turn it was set by revealing a spellcaster monster in your hand. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting effect here. Okay. So cool. This does have some application, even though trap cards normally get looked down on because they're too slow. This card does give you a way to activate it turn one, or the turn you set it at least. And you don't even have to give up real cost for it. You just have to reveal a spellcaster in hand. Okay. That's very doable for Dark Magician. Anyway, when a monster effect is activated in response to the activation of a card that mentions Dark Magician or its effect, you can negate that effect, and if you do for the rest of this turn, the activated effects of monsters with the same original name are negated. Second effect, if you special summon Dark Magician while this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 2,500 life points to set this card. Okay. This card is interesting. To the activation of any card that mentions Dark Magician or its effect. Okay. Gotcha. So whether it's a continuous spell or trap or whatever, Dark Magician Circle or Dark Magic Circle, I think is what it's called. Even if your opponent doesn't respond to it on activation, if they respond to it on just activating its main effect while it's already up on the field, then go from there. And you can negate. It's interesting. This card doesn't feel quite impactful enough. It has a lot of things that like could have maybe led this to actually being like quite playable. And I'm not saying it's totally unplayable because like going first, this helps you beat certain hand traps that would be hand trapping your Dark Magician type engine cards, where this can then negate an Ash Blossom on an engine card or whatever. Aside from that, you talk about going second and playing into a board. You could set this immediately, and as long as you're able to confidently hold a spellcaster in hand, then even as you play, if your opponent tries to interact with any in response to any of your Dark Magician cards, you're still able to negate a monster effect that way, which is fine. But it still doesn't wow me, to be honest. If this effect was just straight up a monster negate or even an omni, then I would have been a lot more interested in it. But unfortunately, it's the conditional aspect of it is kind of what's holding me back here. I like that you can get it back fairly easily on another turn. I like that it's a trap card, but they speed it up by giving it a way to activate it the turn it's set. But unfortunately, what it actually does, the meat and potatoes of this card, I'm not totally convinced. I feel like it's a little bit too specific. I mean, look at the current metagame right now. How many cards are even, how many monster effects, hand traps, so even in like a going first situation, are responding to a Dark Magician card effect? Like looking at most non engine right now, it's Droll, activates in a new chain link, doesn't work. Fua and Perulia not usually chaining to a card. Sometimes Fua, but Perulia, and in a lot of cases, they're just being dropped separate and not in the middle of a chain. So that those usually aren't working. Imperm's a trap, and Ash Blossom's maybe the only hand trap that's seeing consistent play right now. And not that we won't end up in a different format where Ash Blossom, where there's more hand traps like Ash Blossom going around, where Veiler and Ogre and some of those other ones are starting to see play. But it is hard for me to imagine this card being consistently good enough, let alone like you're never going to really opt to play three of this card, I wouldn't imagine. And so, even if this is a one of, in what scenario are you choosing to search this as your one spell or trap card in the Dark Magician archetype that, that you're choosing to get? I just don't know what scenario you're actually choosing this card over the other cards that this archetype has access to. Dark Magic Circle. I know there's a trap card that's decent. There's their version of True Light. They have multiple different uh, cards that I think you're searching over this in almost every instance. And I'm just not sure I totally see it. It's a fun option. It's an interesting card. There's a world where this card actually does like put in work. I just feel like there's totally worlds where, especially once you search this and your opponent knows you have it, they will just choose to play around it. If they can, obviously. If all they have is Ash Blossom and Veiler and type cards that have to respond to something, that's different. But I feel like there's a good amount of outplayability because of this, because of the way this card works. But it's still an interesting card. It's pretty cheeky. I like they're doing everything right that a trap card needs in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, like the double utility on in the grind, the speed up aspect of it to allow it to work immediately. It's just like the actual effect of it just isn't doing enough on its own to make it feel impactful enough. But maybe that's just me. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're a player of Dark Magician or even just someone who likes looking at new cards, let me know your thoughts down below on this as well. Where do you land on it? Do you think I'm right in the right smack on it and you think my assessment's pretty accurate? Do you think I'm maybe a little too harsh, maybe not harsh enough? Let me know your thoughts down below on that stuff down below. I have more content coming. Sorry about the slow stuff. It's been really slow, the news cycle recently, but usually that means we're kind of gearing up for it to kind of speed up again. So hopefully there's that. I've got deck profiles coming. I've got some other stuff coming. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel for all things Yu-Gi-Oh from me down the line. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.